YouTube. I've got just a couple of minutes before I start dinner, so I'm going to see if I can squeeze this in really fast. This is going to be my week 6 pregnancy vlog. Approximately 6 weeks now. I'm feeling exhausted. Yeah, full force now. I'm pretty much ready for bed every night about 6 o'clock. I don't go to bed at 6 because it just means I'm going to sleep way too long and feel far worse the next day. So I pretty much force myself to stay up until about 9 or 10. But I'm definitely not up later than 10 o'clock. Even on New Year's Eve, I went to sleep at 9 o'clock. I completely missed New Year's. Kind of a bummer, but I was really exhausted, so we just went to bed. One night, I actually went to sleep at 8 o'clock, which was a horrible idea because I ended up sleeping 11 and a half hours that night and feeling like a complete zombie the next day, so I won't be doing that again. Hi, baby. This morning when I woke up, I started feeling for the first time like I had to eat. I had to eat immediately or I was going to be sick. And I remember this happening with my first pregnancy, and there was probably like maybe 3 times that I ignored the feeling for a little bit too long, and I ended up actually getting sick and throwing up a couple of times. So this morning when that started, I recognized it immediately, and I said, I have to eat something. I have to eat. I have to eat like within the next 10 minutes. And I did, and everything was fine, and I felt fine the rest of the day. Also today, I started having to pee all the time. Like every 20 minutes, I had to pee. I wasn't drinking like an excess of liquids unusual for me or anything. I just had to pee all the time. So yeah, I spent a lot of time in the bathroom today. The cramping that I talked about in the last video, it pretty much stopped the day that I made that video. Because I haven't experienced that since. So that's gone, so I don't really have to worry about that anymore. My weight, when I took my weight this morning, I weighed at 150, but I was actually weighing myself fully clothed, which is not something that I commonly do. I usually weigh myself without clothes. So anyways, I was 148 last week. I'm probably still right at 148, but you know, with the jeans and everything on, that should be right about the same that I was last week. So no weight gain yet. Emotionally, I'm not crazy like I was the first time around. At least not yet. But I am moody. I have noticed that I've been quite moody lately. Not like angry or irritated necessarily, but just not happy or upbeat. I've been really just kind of dumpy, a little bit bleh every day, and like Dave's noticed it, but I'm not really unhappy per se. I'm just pregnant, I guess. Also, somebody recommended to me drinking raspberry leaf, like as a tea. So I went and got some of this. It is supposed to support a healthy uterus. So I try to drink a cup of this every other day. And when I went to buy that one, I also noticed that they sold this one. This one actually contains raspberry leaf, but it also contains some other stuff. Can you read that? Peppermint leaf, stinging nettle, spearmint, dandelion, fennel, cardamom. So this is just supposed to be like to support a healthy pregnancy. So every other day I'll drink a cup of the raspberry leaf, and then on the alternating days I drink a cup of the woman's mother to be. So which, like I said, this one contains the raspberry leaf also. So I'm getting raspberry leaf every day as long as I'm drinking one of the two. Yeah, and I read that it's supposed to help, like, make, when you go into labor, it's supposed to help make your contractions more, I guess, efficient, so that your labor is maybe shorter and easier. And it's also supposed to help ease morning sickness, which I don't really have a problem with, but I know that a lot of women do, so that might be something to try for some of you that have morning sickness. And yeah, just tone. It's supposed to tone the uterus is its main function, the raspberry leaf. Also, midwife. I set up a consult with a midwife on, hold on, this is crooked, it's bothering me. Okay, I set up a consult with a midwife on the 19th of this month at 10:30 in the morning. Her name is Scotty Bueller. We haven't decided entirely if we're going to use her or not, but I did want to have a consult with her because she was the only other person besides Vicky, who was our midwife the first time around for Arya's birth. She was the only other person that was there. At the time, she was actually a apprentice, not to my midwife, but to a different midwife. But my midwife's apprentice was actually out of state when I went into labor. That was the first time I had ever met Scotty, and I really, really liked her. At first, I was kind of bummed that Leonora, who was supposed to be at her birth, I was pretty bummed that she wasn't going to be there, but I completely forgot about it when Scotty came because she was so nice, and she had this really great energy and this really awesome vibe that I really loved having her there. And so since then, she got licensed. She got licensed in 2010. I guess she had a 2-year apprenticeship with, I think, Michelle Fitzgerald, which is somebody else I was kind of considering going with this time around. I actually recommended her to somebody else, and she really, really likes her. But again, I'm familiar with Scotty, and I really liked her, and I would really like to go with her, even if she is kind of new, or whatever you want to call it, which is not really a bother to me, because originally I had actually considered an assisted birth without a midwife present. Reason being is that it's very important to me that I have a completely hands-off birth. Although I had a really beautiful, wonderful birthing experience the first time around, I feel like there were certain things that happened that didn't have to happen and could have been prevented if I had been more in tune with my body and more trusting of my body to do what it was designed to do. And for a while I thought that the only way that I was going to be able to form that kind of connection with myself was if I didn't have somebody else there to rely on, somebody else there to look to for, what do I need to do now? How much longer do I have to go? And just focus on myself and work with my body to do whatever it had to do. But then again, there are certain aspects about having a midwife that are really appealing to me, such as the cleanup afterward. The midwives are just totally instrumental in having this wonderful post-birth period where everything gets cleaned up and it's just you and your spouse and your baby, or your other children, and it's almost as if like the birth never happened. It's like none of that stuff ever existed, and it's just great to go from being in the throes of giving birth to being in this nice, clean, cozy atmosphere as if it never happened. So that's definitely a major appeal to me. And also, um, just having an extra pair of hands and having somebody with a mind to say, okay, I don't think that this is right, in the event that something really does go wrong and really need to act on it. I definitely want to have somebody there for that. But other than that, I really just want a midwife who's going to come and be supportive and have a positive vibe and just, let me do what I was designed to do and kind of oversee things. Um, I really would like for either myself or my husband to catch the baby. So, um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I just totally hands off. Come, make sure everything goes well, and that's it. That's what I'm looking for. So during the consult with Scotty, I'll find out if that's something that she supports. I'm not just looking for somebody who's going to let me do that, but somebody who's going to actually support that because that's going to be the best fit for us. To make sure that it really does go the way that I want it to, if at all possible. Other than that, I plan to open a separate savings account. I was supposed to do that today, actually. Totally forgot. Sometime this week, I'll be opening a separate savings account just for baby-related expenses. And I plan to put a minimum of $25 every week into that savings account. Or more, which doesn't sound like a lot of money, but considering we still have 34 weeks to go, what are you looking at, like over $800? So, that's not going to take care of everything that we need to take care of, but what, baby? Come here. But I think that $800 is a pretty good start. So, you want to say hi? Say hi. Who is that? Is that you? Is that you and Mama? Are you getting tired? Mwah, you blowing kisses? You're too sweet. Okay. All right. I guess we'll see you in week 7. Bye.